Hey everyone, welcome to another limited color palette video. Today I'll be using these 4 colors to paint this sketch that I drew yesterday. These are watercolor paint from Poland from the company Renesans. This is transparent yellow PY150, purple magenta PR122, cobalt blue dip PB36. Cobalt blue dip is usually PB74, but this is PB36, which is usually cerulean, and this is raw sienna, PBR7. Let me squeeze some paint first onto this new porcelain palette that I've just bought. By the way, this is the Strathmore softcover watercolor travel journal. The paper is made with 100% cotton. So I wanted to use this travel journal because if you have watched an earlier video where I talked about how the sizing on watercolor paper can deteriorate, well, I have a lot of watercolor sketchbooks that I need to use. So I'm going to start with this one, which is quite thin. So I can pretty much fill this up very quickly. Let's paint the wooden chairs with raw sienna first. I'm going to add some transparent yellow to make it a bit more interesting, rather than just use raw sienna alone. It looks like this watercolor paper can handle watercolor really well. Now the paper is off-white, so it looks a bit creamy. Raw sienna is a nice color for mixing skin tones, so this is raw sienna mixed with some purple magenta. You can probably use raw sienna on its own for painting skin tones. This brush that I'm using, this is the silver black velvet. The earlier brush, that's the Novskaya Palitra. This sketch was actually drawn on location. I was out yesterday to film some outdoor sketching video, but I ran out of time, so I decided to just go to a cafe and sketch there. And also the weather was really hot, so it doesn't make sense for me to film under the sun. So going to the cafe is probably the wiser choice. But I didn't have time to color this sketch at the cafe, so that's why I'm coloring it now. So you see this customer here, he was asking for some napkins, and the cafe actually does not have napkins because the cafe has ran out of napkins, and the customer was quite, well, how should I say it, disappointed, to put it politely. Let's have some grays here for this coffee machine. So this is mixed with cobalt blue dip. Maybe I shouldn't call this cobalt blue dip. Let me just call this PB36, because cobalt blue dip, it's supposed to be PB74. I mixed this with some yellow and red to get this neutralized color. I like this color, it looks nice. So this is the counter. For the bottom of this table here, it's mostly black, so let me try and mix a much darker color. I'll probably need a lot of blue. Oops, this part is not dry yet. The thing with PB36 is it's not a particularly high tinting color, so it's very difficult to mix black with it. You have to use a lot of blue to get the darker values, and if you use a lot of blue, you're going to use up your paint very fast. So to mix black without using too much paint, it would be good to use phthalo colors or ultramarine. If you want to go for a very soft pastel-like color scheme, PB36 is good. We have a lot of white here, some greens. I actually cannot remember what shirt this guy was wearing, so I'm just going to give him a checkered shirt. Let's wait for that to dry before we paint the vertical lines. This is actually a portrait format journal, but I rotated it to draw a horizontal scene. Let's have the vertical stripes now. Oops. This is going to be a raw sienna back. Oops. Alright, I think it looks fine. Let's paint the black legs of the chairs. I shall just leave this as it is and not mess it up too much. So this is the completed sketch. The color scheme here is a bit more pastel-like, a bit more muted. We don't have really strong, vibrant colors like phthalos or quinacridone colors. And also the color of the paper, the cream color, it makes this sketch look a bit warmer. If you take a look at this color, so this paper is more yellow, more creamy compared to the cover. It's very obvious. So this is the sketch. This paper is able to handle pen and ink and watercolor really well. This paper, it's cold press paper. The paper is 300 GSM, so it's quite thick. I'm not sure if Strathmore, well, I'm not sure if they have a hardcover version of this travel journal, because the soft cover, it's not that durable in my opinion. And also with a hardcover, you can get better support when you're drawing. But of course the hardcover will be much heavier. What's interesting here is actually the color Cobalt Blue dip, which is said to use PB36. It's quite unusual. I have some swatches of Daniel Smith's PB36 and you can see it's quite different. Daniel Smith's version definitely looks more like cerulean, and this, well, it looks really like Cobalt Blue dip. This is Old Holland's Cobalt Blue dip PB74. You can see these two, they look rather similar. So I find it quite interesting that Renesans, they can make PB36 look like Cobalt Blue dip. I'm going to fill up this journal as quickly as possible so that I can give you a full review. All I can say so far is I really enjoy drawing and painting on this, but I don't particularly like the soft cover. Alright, thanks for watching today's video. See you in the next one. And do check out all my other limited color palette videos as well. Links are in the video description below. Bye!